And we have to know that we make a mistake many times in our approach. I can't say everybody does, but a very common mistake is that we're focusing on level 2 before you go into level 1. That means I want you to show me who's working on Tikkun HaMidas today. You line them up. We can count them on our fingers. Because who's working on Tikkun HaMidas, become a lamdin. Become a Talmid Chacham. Get knowledge. He doesn't realize he could build as much knowledge as he likes. As much ideas as he likes. But if he's not going into the root, that's not doing anything. We make a Talmid Chacham. Madach somebody who was be'emes a Talmid Chacham. Madach someone who was be'emes a Navi. Madach someone who be'emes made Tikkun HaMidas because he couldn't get there if he didn't. He actually built the building. He made the tree. But he just forgot what his roots are. And he started to not pay attention to the roots. And even the greatest man of all greatness, when the kinnis started to kick in from the bottom and he wasn't paying attention to it, and then when it manifested itself in a situation of test, the guy went toppling over like nothing ever happened. Kal v'chomer if a guy never even started the binyan from the bottom up either. He just started building a building without a foundation. Everything looks great. He's learning, he's davening, he's doing a lot of nice things, it's all good. But then all of a sudden one day he faced a test, and all the guk from the Midas Raya start coming out like crazy. Where'd that come from? Because he wasn't working in the roots. He was not. And if he's not working in the roots, then these roots will come up and they will come in, and then all his Torah and all his thing will not stand in the place of the problem. And this is something that we got to get clear. I see guys learning and growing and learning, and that's unbelievable. But if there's no work in the Yiras Shamayim, if the guy's not getting up to learn how to daven, if he's not learning Musa, and I don't mean Musa learning Yediyas and Musa. Yediyas and Musa is the same thing like learning Yediyas in the Sugya of Sukkot HaChazila. Yediyas and learning Musa means that I see in myself a chisaron. I have to see that there's a chisaron. And the chisaron has to be by me a real chisaron, that I feel chaser. And I feel chaser, and I feel the need to get rid of the chisaron. It creates by me a certain tension that I have a chisaron and I got to get rid of it. And that feeling of chisaron is supposed to develop within me a creativity to figure out how to do it. But that's a big problem because people do not want to realize they have a chisaron. It takes people years and years. They could be having problems in relationships, problems in everything, but the guy will not face the reality he's got an issue. It's true, there are people in the world that are obnoxious. It's true. Once in a while you meet one of those. But when a guy comes in front of you and he says, I meet 10 obnoxious people a day, that means you got problems. Yeah, you can meet an obnoxious guy once in a while. But if you meet people that all day are getting on your nerves and all day doing this and all doing that, you got issues. But you're not moide. You don't want to meet moide that the chisaron is by you. A person has to realize missing chakras is a chisaron. It's a chisaron in the Adam. The problem is we don't want to be moide. And the second that we're forced in the corner to be moide, we have a chisaron. We want the chisaron to go away ASAP. Can't live with that reality that you have a chisaron. So therefore, you rather not know it exists. Learning Musa says no. To create and to build a human being is something that takes time. And it takes creativity. And it takes time to try this and to try that and to work with the problem. But the problem must go. And because the problem must go, I need to figure out the solution. And I have to try different drachim. Says Tzadik Sheva Yipol V'Kam. He falls 7 times, meaning all the time, and he gets up. So people think Tzadik Sheva Yipol V'Kam means that you keep trying the same thing over and over and you keep failing. That's what we call a shaita in English. Sheva Yipol V'Kam means you tried 7 different mahalchim until you hit the point that works. That's what Sheva Yipol V'Kam means. Because I have a chesaron, and the chesaron has to go, and that has to create creativity within me, and I got to get rid of that problem.